Hi up lads and lasses, and welcome to the Mad Boy Tom YouTube channel. The second one, in fact this is the second channel, innit? Anyway, I wanted to speak. I keep getting this bloody pro-Ukrainian content on my feed. Now, before we go into it, I'm not pro-Russian. I'm not really pro-Ukrainian either. From the way I see it, that war literally could have been avoided so easy. For example, I think if Ukraine just agreed not to join NATO and Russia could guarantee it would have no border threats, that Russian Nazis that Russia was hunting down weren't passing through into Ukraine, and Ukraine were able to receive guarantees that Russian military wasn't going to invade them, perhaps through, I don't know, not necessarily through NATO troops being based on Ukrainian ground, but perhaps guarantees of, I don't know, otherwise guarantees that Ukrainian troops and that NATO troops, missiles and planes wouldn't be based on Ukrainian territory. I think, but I don't know, it's a complicated thing, right? I think both could have avoided this war. It's both on each of them. It just depends. Each has a sovereign right, I suppose. Either way, I think it's really stupid, a lot of this pro-Ukrainian propaganda. And if you look in the comments, it gets worse. I saw this one comment saying the people that actually stormed Berlin in World War II were actually Ukrainian and Belarusian. Yeah, the majority of them were. I think there were some Russians of them, but the reason they were mostly that is because I think 2 million Russians behind them were fighting off with the ones that were engaging. It was something to do with Operation Bagration, or maybe not, no, something later on, but it was engaging a major army battle. This is what I can remember through my history at school. It was engaging a major army battle, with one of the remaining large German armies, and that allowed the Ukrainian armies and the Belarusian armies to go through and storm Berlin. Basically, that's what I got from my history at school. I assume. Something on that. I might have forgot a few details, or I might have got some details wrong, but it was around those lines. And I think personally, it's disrespectful for any side in World War II, Ukrainian side or any country that was in the Soviet Union side, to say that they suffered more in the war, or any side on the West to say they did more, suffered more, did more to win the war. For example, it was literally, if you look at World War II, it was a complete team effort, a complete team effort. We couldn't have won without the Soviet Union. And we couldn't win without the Soviet Union. Soviet Union couldn't win without us, kind of thing. And also, what's not brought up in much is the Chinese involvement, the Republic of China's involvement, and the war. They did a lot against Japan, considering the state they were in. They were already in a civil war, But anyway. There's this video. There's this geezer, I can't remember his name, and he's like a man, a boy, I don't know, 19 or so. And I saw him a few years ago, he was saying all this shit. But he's saying, the Russian economy, it's failing, right? It's rubbish. The Russian people won't be able to eat, saying that Ukraine had successfully took out a Russian Navy vessel. Now, I don't know why a lot of people find the fact that Ukraine is now able, or has been able, to attack and destroy Russian military objects just as much as Russia can destroy Ukrainian. And it's not because of Ukraine, for example, developed it or made their own things. Some of them they are, but let's be honest, 90% of the things they use in there is actually gifted to them by the West, by NATO. It's I don't know where the billions of dollars are going. They're probably using the billions of dollars or pounds or francs or to that I've given to them by as loans to buy the weapons, something like that, some bollocks like that. I don't know. By the way, that it's always been gifted equipment. They won't. It would literally probably would be 3 day. I mean, have you seen that 3 day operation if it wasn't for the Western equipment? For example, did you see that video of that railway line? It's really early on in the war. The railway line where it's just pumping out like military equipment to Ukraine on that railway. It's just all going. It just never ends. It's fucking ridiculous, man. And I think, yeah. Either way, you know. But also, when they were saying they struck the Russian vessel, sorry, I'll go on a bit. The Russian naval vessel, right? Russia doesn't even have a navy. What it does, it's got one battered, really shitty aircraft carrier or whatever it's called. It's not a carrier. It's actually a really sad affair. The only thing that deters any countries from messing with the Russian Navy is how many submarines Russia has. It has loads. I think it has the best, most. I don't know. It was definitely known in the Soviet Union for having the best submarine in the Cold War, for the Soviet Union having the best submarines and having loads of them, all with nukes. But you know, they're not. Ukraine, I wouldn't imagine, are sinking a Russian submarine that has nukes on it, because that would just be I mean, they probably have them mad, but sort of the Russians are fucking bonkers, mate. Like, why are you continuing this war at this point? But you know, that what's it called? Fuck. Yeah, you know, that would create a nuclear catastrophe if that happened. And it was, and I don't know. Yeah, and that's all I wanted to say. And also, yeah, the Iran war. It's a big one. It's a big one, the Iran war. I mean, I'd say Iran's winning that too, you know. Just because its regime is intact, and which let's be honest, that was Israel's goal, was to kill the regime, and to split Iran into a civil war. It hasn't done that. Iran is still strong. It's still, although very much degraded, of course, it still has the capacity to strike back. And I think the ceasefire ends today at some point, the 22nd, yeah. The ceasefire ends, but I think they will emerge out of the war stronger than they came in, I think, personally. Well, were forced to come in. Sorry, that sounded weird. Anyway, cheerio, lads and lasses. I hope you enjoyed. It's not actually 2 AM today, as you can see. It's quite nice. It's actually really sunny. I love the old sun. There's a new video coming out on the main channel soon. Man-Eater, the Mega Experience. It's going to be a good one. Anyway, ta-ra. A bit. Subscribe to this channel and the main channel. I'll always appreciate it. And ta-ra.